Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunny Side. I'm Sunny, and this is the weekly reading for who's going to win the U.S. election, who's going to win the U.S. presidential election in 2024. And this video, we're going to look at Trump's week ahead, Donald Trump's week ahead. Everybody cool? All right, here we go. Let's jump into it. I'll show you the chart in a sec. But I got to tell you guys, there's something else I'm going to show to you guys today. So we've been talking about karma and Saturn retrograde, and we've been demonstrating that both Kamala Harris's karma is in play, for better or for worse, and Donald Trump's karma is in play, for better or for worse. And it really is for better or for worse. There's some, as I say, astrologically, they're both going to have signs of success in their chart. All right, that's not usually whatever. Okay, whatever. So what's the deal with the Trumpster? So karma is still in play, major play. And you can see that his words and the things he's done in the past, they're coming back to haunt him a little bit. All right, whatever. Next, the next two are the big ones, and I'll show. Well, let me show. The next two are the big ones, and I'll show it to you, and then I'll explain it in the chart. In addition to Saturn retrograde, we've been talking about Mercury retrograde on the channel and what to do during Mercury retrograde. It's like so obvious. Like I can't believe. Donald Trump he's a Gemini, right? He's highly affected by this Mercury retrograde, and he's having Mercury retrograde problems. He's having communication problems. There's delays, microphone delays, communication problems, that Twitter fiasco nonsense, freaking out at press conferences, freaking out with the journalists there. So that's the Mercury retrograde thing. If he should consult an astrologer, someone should tell him to consult an astrologer, because there's all of these things. He did the announced the debates under Mercury retrograde, and immediately there was a problem. So whatever he's going to do for the rest of the month, there's going to be a problem. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, it's like she does have an astrologer on staff, because she made her decisions for the vice president before Mercury retrograde, and right now she's not really doing any major communication things. Like she's just she's just doing rallies, and so she's kind of respecting that. And then when I expect when they make their announcements, the Democrats make their announcements under Mercury retrograde next week or whenever it is, I think there's going to be a problem. Just like I think there's going to be a problem with their announcement. Just like the Trumpster is going through all of this nonsense right now. Poor guy. All right, so that's brings us to this week. So everybody cool? So that's the Saturn retrograde we've been speaking about. That karma is still in play, and so karma is still in play, for better or worse. I'll say it again, for better or worse, right? Like Elon Musk is Trump's buddy. Like they tried to help each other, right? So it's just hilarious, though. All right, next, and then the Mercury retrograde, the communication problems. Now let me show you guys something astrologically, especially for this week. So this is the Trumpster, and these are the transits. This is the and we all know that something very big astrologically and potentially violent and very frustrating is going to happen. Everybody might be having bad dreams this week. Everybody might be waking up in the middle of the night stressed out. Everybody might have some kind of anxious tension around them, like they really want to do something, but they frustrated that they can't do it. And the thing they really want to do, they really want to do it. So that's the deal. Now, with the Trumpster, that's happening at the top of his chart. So that's his publicity. He really wants to put a lot of energy into publicity. Like, he really wants it. Like, the Mars is there, is conjunct Jupiter. That's a lot. That's putting a lot of energy in publicity. But he can't right now. There are restrictions. Like the Saturn is restricting that. So that's one thing, right? And for Trump, the Saturn represents people who have left him. It also represents people who are saying bad things about him. It's also because Saturn is retrograde, it's kind of a break in his legal proceedings. Saturn will go direct in the middle of November. Make sure, make sure about that, and then it's going to move forward, and then we're going to continue with this stuff. But in the meantime, Saturn's giving everybody a little bit of a break from of some stuff. But at the same time, it's very frustrating for people right now. All right, now I'm going to show you astrologically. There are two things I want to show you guys in Trump's chart. So, why astrologically is Trump not going out there on tour right now? Now, I'm not going to say things like crowd size, like he wants to go to certain places to show on media that he has a large crowd size. So that's what he wants to do. And he's not going here to show a smaller crowd size. And we already know that he's worried about comparison of crowd sizes because he talks about it. That's what he's talking about. And he's not talking about just the crowd size. He's talking about a visual comparison. So I think he's highly reluctant to go into arenas and stadiums that Harris has already been in. All right, so that's one thing. But whatever, man, who cares? He has his own reasons for whatever. So, although I think that's a good reason. So, but astrologically, we have a couple of things happening here. And this is not super unique to his chart. It's just a thing that he happens to be going through. And if you have these things I'm going to point out in your chart, you will go through similar things at that time. Now, I'm going to warn you guys. Jupiter is on this. Okay, so here's what's happening here. This is the Trumpster's sun. And these are the transits. And those guys are technically behind the sun. So although it's out in public, it's also behind the scenes and private. So there's a lot of... okay, I'll say it again. So although it's out and very public, like everybody sees it, there's a large part of what Trump's doing that you don't see because the Mars is on that side of the sun. Right? Everybody cool? But on the plus side, he has some pretty cool stuff here, right? He has the North Node and he has Uranus. So there's explosive energy that's around him. Now, there's a warning, and I'm going to get to this in a second. In addition to that, I just want to point that out to you. We have the sun, transiting sun, is in his 12th house. Like, legit, have a look. It's right there. And so, whenever the sun's in the 12th house and is transiting, that's the time of year where the person tends to be a little bit reclusive, tends to do things behind the scenes, tends to hang out in the backyard, tends to... although they might be pushing to be the center of attention or pushing for publicity, the spotlight's not really on them. The spotlight's on something else. And the spotlight's on Leo energy. But make no mistake, the sun is coming, it's going to be here in about a week. And so next week, when I do this Trumpster update for next week, I'll be saying things like he's about to step into the spotlight. He's going to be very popular again. Everybody's going to look at him. Maybe he's doing a lot of TV interviews. That's next week. But this week, it's reclusive, stuff behind the scenes. Maybe he's going to come out. Maybe he's not going to come out. He wants to come out, right? Like, this is his desire, right? He wants to come out. But there's frustration, right? There's karma, right? Saturn, it's karma, it's frustration. All right, next. This frustration. He wanted to be very popular. He is popular. He wanted that Twitter thing to be super popular. He wanted that debate thing to be super popular. He wants his conventions to be super popular. He wants his whatever he's been doing, man. He wants it to be super popular. But it's frustrating for him. He's being frustrated. Saturn is frustrating him. All right. Now, there's a really neat thing in here. He's had technical problems several times now. And so, as you can see this here, right, this guy, and there's two of them that are under very similar kind of situations right now. So it's going to happen to him. And unfortunately, this stuff is going to continue to happen to him. And so, like, it's going to continue. This, well, I guess it's going to, for this week, anyways. I'll tell you what so for this week, it's going to continue. Um, and what it is something unexpected happening, sudden and unexpected, something unplanned for, potentially something in communication, potentially something in electricity, right? Electricity, communication. And so, and for the Trumpster, it's definitely very public because it's at the top of the chart. So this is to be expected. Like, he should expect problems. I don't know that you could expect someone to shoot at the guy, right? Like, that's a little weird thing to say. He has it in his chart, kinda, but like, I wouldn't jump and say that. But I would say very clearly, unexpected stuff is going to happen to him publicly. It's going to continue to happen. He's going to continue to be frustrated for the rest of the week. When next week happens, I'll tell you what's going to happen next week, but like, the energy is shifting. It's not a good time to make decisions. It's not the greatest time to make predictions. It's not a great time for communication. And for the Trumpster, he has to watch out for more of the unexpected. I still wouldn't be surprised if he fires Vance and brings someone else in. Probably like a woman or something. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. Anyways, everybody be careful. Everybody be cool. I'm still staring. I'm staring to see if there's anything else I could put in there for you guys. The Mercury retrograde is causing him problems, right? It's in his first house. It's how he appears to the world. But it's causing him a lot of problems, actually. But that's what's going on. All right, that's what's going on. So, oh, man. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to keep the videos short. Please subscribe to the channel. Share the videos. That's what I think's happening to the Trumpster this week. I don't think there's much change happening for him unless he instigates the change or initiates the change. However, I think even if he does change right now, I think there's going to be a problem because the Mercury retrograde is clearly causing problems for the Trumpster. The Saturn retrograde is clearly causing problems for him. But at the top of the chart, you know, he has a lot of good happening to him right now as well. You just have to balance it out. The weird is going to continue. And that's the Action Man from TheSunnySide.net. I'm Sunny, wishing everyone the best of a super duper amazing day. Get this guy to talk to an astrologer. Holy smokes. And I'll see you guys soon.